version video, so don't make me explain and convince you that I'm okay. I don't want to spend any fucking energy convincing anybody that I'm okay. I'm okay. But I learned a really cool practice at this regular, well, it used to be ongoing, multiple times a year, 3-day immersion by this group called Solsara. It's in Portland, Oregon. And they just came back. I think they're having their first immersion again, like sometime in June. But one of the practices we do there is, we called it triad because there'd be 3 people. And whatever the length of time was, if we were doing a full length, it was 45 minutes, I think. Each person would just get full attention, presence, and very little interruption. Like basically, yeah, for the most part, witnessing, sprinkled with a little bit of, if that person wanted, touch or whatever. Not gonna try and explain. So I'm gonna do that because I have a lot to say, get it off my chest. Okay, so Jeanette moved in yesterday. I have to remember to tell her, do not do a USPS change of address. Yeah, because I don't want to deal with putting her on ACP right now. It won't be a big deal, but I don't want to do it right now. One thing I'm also gonna do a lot, if I really feel like I look like caca, I will change the view so that it's something pretty. So maybe this time, I will, what was I saying? I don't know. Sometimes I'll change it, but I'm gonna have to put this over here. All right, so part of what I'm trying to demonstrate also is this whole idea of the value of just uninterrupted being witnessed, as well as value of setting yourself up for like comfort and success. Learning how to do that for yourself, but ideally you also have the opportunity to receive someone doing that for you. So right now I'm gonna get myself set up for a while. So I got my office set up right there. Someday I'll do a video about how I got that super awesome desk. I'm on the flop couch, or cuddle raft. I think that's what we're actually calling it now, the cuddle raft. I'm gonna be on my computer. I've got notebooks. I'm gonna get comfy. I've got water nearby. I got my office bag nearby. So like, these are just ways that I get myself set up. But it takes a while to create the routine, and it takes even a little bit longer to practice the routine so many times that it actually, you can do it without a lot of trouble, even if you feel like crapola. So, okay. Part of what I'm setting up is I'm trying to get it so that I get that pretty view, but I think I'm gonna have to give up on it. I think what I'm gonna have to do is lay the phone down, because I don't want to have to get up again for a while. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to put my castor oil pack stuff on, and so I've made a little bin of castor oil pack stuff that I can bring over here, but also as a place to go to get put away. These are all strategies that I'm naming off. Okay, what am I gonna do? I think I'm gonna go like this. Okay, so go. You gonna see my big old mushroom butt, and I'm gonna roll my desk over here. Okay, This is where I really need help. I need someone to set up my camera for me. I need someone to set up my desk for me. I need someone to fix the wires so that they no longer get in the way. These are the kind of things that I really want to be able to delegate. But don't currently have somebody to delegate to, so I'm figuring out what I need so that when that person arrives, I can just tell them what to do. Or better yet, I'll make a damn video and say, this is what I need help with. Will you just do that for me? Because I'm really pretty consistent with what I want and need. Okay. And roughly when I want it even. I even have a pretty natural schedule. Okay, so my screen is on. My computer is getting connected to power. Let's go down like this. And the big screen. Translation of what's going on here. Does it look like a mess? Sure. But sunglasses right here means we took a walk this morning. Castor oil means I gotta remember to do that. Pills mean I haven't put them away yet, which is right down here, but I did take them. Good job. I have to set an alarm so I don't forget to take my pills. Got my evil bone water because I want to put some of that on my foot, especially, but also my knees. I have Catherine Bird's book, The Healer's Process, on here, and I really want to start reading that. And I'll order it at some point soon, but right now that's what I got. Okay, let's open up my computer. Let's open up my computer. This beautiful thing, this was a gift. My fairy godmother sent me this gift. Okay. Alrighty. How am I gonna set this up? I guess. Look, those are great rainbows. Can't see it now. This morning when Brian and I were having our meeting, he had a rainbow right on his third eye. It was really cool. Okay, let's go with that for now. And I'm getting hot, so I think I'm gonna turn the AC on. See, I'm setting everything up so that I'm comfortable. If you could be 10% more comfortable with very little effort, it's worth doing. However, if it's a lot of effort, because whatever, if it's a lot of effort to get 10% more comfortable, then you really only are going to do that if you have help or if you have more than a few spoons. Okay. All right, there we go. We're going to go with that. Okay. So, okay, so I'm back. I'm going to recenter. I really don't want to accentuate my whatever. Okay. So when I take the time to take some breaths, I'm able to shift gears often. And if I can't shift gears, then that just means I'm not supposed to yet. Okay. Oh, there's Netflix. Okay. Ooh, I'm so far back. Ooh, I'm gonna have to put that up. Oh, well, I'm gonna do it right now. See, if I had more energy or I had help, this big pillow here would get moved over here. But I can't handle it right now. That's too hard. So there's an example of how I decide. Okay, so what were the things I was most interested in doing? See, it took me so long to get here that Oh, I know what it was. Okay, so I was outside. That's another important part of my morning routine and part of my ingredient list or menu or however you want to term it. But one of my digital products I want to create is just like this. It looks like a menu at a restaurant, and but no, maybe it's ingredient list. Maybe it's more like a cookbook. It's more like a cookbook. You start noticing. You make a point of noticing what it is that you seem to grab most often. What you need to be comfortable most often. Like start noticing that, and then if at all possible, make those things that make you feel cozy, comfy, relieved, not like sensory irritated, like all the things that help you, that make it as easy as possible to do them. Capture those. Sometimes it's minutes, sometimes it's hours. Capture those times and you're like, I can do something that'll help me later. So I decided to start calling those acts of service, and it can be something you do for yourself. It could be something that somebody's able to do for you. But there are like 5-minute acts of service. There's 15-minute. There's half an hour, whatever. So then people can opt, like somebody who wants to be of service, whether it's to an individual or the household or community or whatever. If you feel like, you know what, I could do something for 15 minutes, I'm pretty sure I can handle that, then you do one of those things and you get this little bit of dopamine hit, right? Anyway, so the aspect of what's happening right now that I'm honestly most afraid to be seen is how I bounce around, is how I might start crying. It is how particular I am about what I need. It is how I talk a lot. It is how I talk fast. Sometimes. What I'm afraid to have seen and witnessed is this challenges with word finding, challenges with translating what's going on in my head, heart, or body, or belly, or whatever, trying to translate that into words. So hard a lot of the times, a lot. And there's such a fucking heavy emphasis on use your words. And I don't understand you. Say it a different way. Or how about, say it a different way, but not with fucking words. I don't want to have to wear something to designate this, because then I have to remember to wear the thing. And what I wish, instead of people like me having to go around and give disclaimers and say, hey, can you treat me in this way that you're going to perceive as special and effort? How about instead of the default kind of response or perspective is wow, you're high maintenance. Well, perhaps in comparison to everybody who doesn't know how to ask for what they want and need, yeah, I guess, but really, I hear so many people say I'm a people pleaser. Okay, well, one of the ways that shows up for me is being afraid to be seen, especially if I am likely to feel emotional or to release tears or whatever as a means of clearing. And so I then end up the majority of the time where, in order not to trigger somebody who's witnessing me, I have to basically manage their triggers by by managing me so that I don't trigger like their mother wound or their whatever their fucking wounds are. Like, the orientation kind of defaults. The default, that's right. The default is, if I enter into an interaction with other people, if I am unable to dredge up the spoons to look less happy, be more present, be capable of speech, and a certain kind of speech, like if I sound at all crabby, it's an interpretation that I'm crabby. It's more that I just really don't have the fucking energy to do anything but just like, my ears are burning. Like, it's mild right now, but my ears feel hot. So yeah, I don't really ever let anybody see me like this because they always want me to change. I don't know, I remember my daughter saying that once, like, why do I have to change? Why can't I just be exactly as I am? And it was usually me being uncomfortable because she was really upset, or she was maybe saying things that felt like blame, or like, I don't know, whatever. It's unfiltered. And sometimes unfiltered is difficult to be in the presence of, especially if it sounds like and is coming at you in a way that feels like aggressive or something in some way. So when the default is I have to moderate and manage myself and how I show up in order to prevent another person's discomfort, as well as prevent the whole like fucking energy being redirected towards, what's wrong with you? Let me somehow make it better for you. Like, I don't want to navigate that conversation. That's why I don't let people see me like this. So, I mean, the good news is I do now understand that what I'm describing is masking. And I am grateful that it has become more of a common conversation. And there are so many people out there who are able to verbalize and communicate and demonstrate. To try to shift the default. Because my dream, and what's crazy is that it really seems like, gosh, my dream, it would help everybody. Not just me. And then if the emphasis changes to, hey, human being who has a different set of awarenesses, and hey, we recognize that you're the kind of human who has I don't know, maybe it's a less calcified pineal gland. I don't know, but I have a higher sensory awareness, and I recognize that's true. In part, though, a big part of why I appear so like is because the majority of other people have drugged themselves down by numbing their sensory processes of all kinds and keeping them numbed by and increasingly numbed by choosing substances that cause inflammation in their bodies. But when I come in and I'm like, hey, I can't be in your house because you use fragrance laundry detergent. Or I know you only have 2 candles in your whole living room, but I can still smell them through a mask. That's not a me problem. And so I wish the default was fragrance is an enhancement, like a condiment, not a main dish. And chemical fragrances, I can't imagine that there's a single positive use for chemical fragrances. I can't imagine like essential oils, things that are purely based on nature. I'm willing to bet I would not have reactions to essential oils if I hadn't gotten so trashed by a large percentage of the population choosing to numb their senses. All of them, not just your smell. By putting something on their bodies that is like a pig pen from Charlie Brown. It's like a cloud around them that they just can't see. But this cloud, just like dust, just like, sand. Maybe sand is a good analogy. This cloud of sand follows people around and they leave it behind. Little bits, they leave little bits behind. Everywhere they go. The majority of chemical fragrances and a lot of essential oil fragrances rub off on other people. When you're like hugging, if you use that stuff, you're transferring some of your pigpen cloud to their clothes and hair and skin. It's not always that strong, but it can be. And maybe even I can't perceive the most subtlest because I am inflamed from all the. So anyway, I shouldn't have to smell it before I can report it. I just wish there just wasn't so fucking much chemical use in this world. So yeah, I'm trying to say the default. What if the default was fragrance was an enhancement? Not everybody used it. How much money would you save if you didn't spend money on that shit? Like, how much money could you put into savings, maybe, or a better car, or something that would actually fucking help? Anyway, the biggest problem is that it's not just an individual that is affected by those choices, like, because they leave them bits of themselves and bits of their choices behind, like chemical, poisonous sand. They affect those around them. If you want to eat like shit, that's not going to really affect me. Like, I guess if you're going to eat like shit and never move your body, like, that's your choice and it doesn't really directly affect me generally. It doesn't generally affect me. But anyone who chooses to put chemicals on their body, especially the stuff that rubs off everywhere, are making a choice that causes me physical harm. And it's not a me problem. So please just stop using the fucking shit. And there's zero doubt in my mind, I'm sure there is fucking scientific proof all over the damn place, that if you stop putting the chemicals on your fucking skin and you start drinking a lot more hydrating fluids, electrolytes, but not Gatorade, that's fucking chemicals, like lemon water and lemon balm water and nettle tea and high quality electrolytes. But anyway, a lot more of those. Somebody gave up even just the external inflammatory things and drank a lot of water, I bet. A lot of people, I think it would take more than a month, probably 2, before they'd start to become aware of the difference. And most people probably wouldn't become aware of the difference until they re-expose themselves. But abstain for at least, I think it's 3 months minimum, 6 months ideal. Abstain from an inflammatory thing like that. And drink a lot of water. I think it's half your body weight or some shit. You'll feel different, and most likely it will be feeling better. And then if you're feeling wild and crazy, take take another inflammatory out of your system. It's another thing I have to hide is my desire to give advice. I have to ask permission usually. So yes, there's another place that I have to change how I'm showing up. Instead of, I was making up a game. That's what was happening. See, if I had help right now, somebody would fill this for me. If I had help right now, somebody would actually get me some lemon water with the lemon balm tea. Yeah. The ideal would be if I had help right now, someone would make me that lemon, honey, cayenne, cinnamon, apple cider vinegar thing. And they would help me get set up with my castor oil packs. That would be ideal. But since that's not available right now, what's most important? Okay, so I've been allowing myself to be witnessed now for probably about 24 minutes. So I will give myself 6 more, and then I will first get a beverage. Probably briefly go outside again and get lemon balm, because that's easiest. Turn the kettle on. Yeah. The other thing I pretty much feel like I feel like I pretty much nearly always have to hide or keep to myself are my big ideas. My big, hairy, audacious goals. Nobody can tolerate listening to them. And the ways they can't really tolerate it is sometimes like they just literally don't have the knowledge or interest to listen. So that's one way of not being able to tolerate it. Maybe they would be interested if they were in the right mind, but like not, I don't want to say right, but like right now, somebody tried to tell me something exciting and a highly cerebral, I would be like, I just can't right now, man, that's killing me. So, if I'm in the place where I want to talk about that stuff, but whoever I'm talking to is not in the place to talk about that stuff, then I have to change what I want to talk about. But what I wish is that the default was people felt like they could make the choice that's best for them. And if I start talking about something that they're not interested in or is not in their like wavelength right now or whatever, I wish instead of them getting all like crabby with me, is they just be like, can we do something else? I'm not in this space right now. It's nothing personal. It's just like we're not jiving. We're not groovy right now. That's the word Jeanette likes. Jeanette and I also use. We're not groovy right now. I just wish they could. And the option could be, I'm gonna go lay back down, or if you're cool, just being quiet, or I don't know, whatever, or following my lead, I can stay. Like, I wish that was the default. I wish the default was, I'm noticing some irritation at you, Heather. I'm noticing it doesn't feel good to be present with you or your words or whatever. So instead of the default being, stop it, you change, it be, I'm not choosing that right now. And then take self-responsibility for, rather than me feeling like I have to be like, well, what do you want to do? We can do this, that, or the other. Instead going, I don't know what I want. I'll come back a little later. Or I don't know what I want. I'm cool being in the same room with you, but I need to just right now. That's what I wish people did and felt like they could do. But for some reason, They don't. I mean, I know why, but I'm not going to try to explain it right now. They don't. And so it continues to be, Heather, you have to change because I'm uncomfortable. It's kind of like that little kid, like it's like the grown-up version of whatever, some scenario between small children or not even small children, but where those scenarios are where somebody like starts crying and they're like, they made me cry. And like objectively either, you know, whatever, like, but it becomes about, you made me feel an emotion. And so you are the one who has to take responsibility and say you're sorry for making me feel an emotion. That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. It never has. And it always comes out like, Heather, you're an asshole because you won't take responsibility for the story I wrote about you. You're deflecting, you're defensive, you're like, I'm like, no, I'm tired and I don't know how to make my voice sound the way I need it to make it. You need me to make it sound. I'm actually just like confused why I'm responsible for your feelings. Anyway, yeah, how about the default not be, Heather, you're the one who has to do something different. It also means that none of us should have to apologize. Like, I'm sorry I'm crying, or I'm sorry I'm emotional, I'm sorry that I'm blah, blah, blah. No, how about we just like, hey, I'm just with you however you are. People would be like, why do you let your daughter talk like that to you? Because she needs to be loved and accepted wherever she is. And if she doesn't have the access to like nice words, respectful words, she doesn't have access to them, it's fucking mean for me to expect her to use them. So I'm gonna love her unconditionally no matter what she does or says, because that is what she needs. And the mistakes or whatever she's making in this right now are totally safe ones. I want her to make mistakes or feel experiences of being a butthead, behaving like a butthead. That's the other thing. Behavior. It may be a behavior. It's not the person. So when her behavior was she was angry and saying rough things, that was her past her ability to show up in this prescribed way. And I wasn't particularly good at translating what she was really trying to say, what she more than likely had to say a bunch of times, and I didn't hear or understand until she got to the point of like, God damn. Because I know that happens for me now. Somebody just keeps fucking forgetting what I've said or whatever. Or asks me questions when I'm just totally can't, when my just brain and ears burn and I can't words. So that's mean. And I did that to her a lot. We had way too much like bullshit, important, complicated, annoying, painful things on our plate, and having to talk about that fuck shit ball damn and spend so much fucking time doing activities that were unpleasant for both of us generally. It sucks. It sucks so much. No wonder it didn't feel good to be around me sometimes. But anyway, I don't want to get all sad right now. It's time for me to stop. I did about 30 minutes of just letting it out. I'm gonna go get beverage and a little more sun. And we'll see how I feel when I come back, if I'm ready to get on my computer, because I know there were things I wanted to do there for fun. Okay, I'm gonna say it out loud. Okay, what I was gonna do is make a playlist that my biz assistant Gmail can collaborate on. And it's gonna be of videos that I want to have, like, I want to make reaction videos to them. And it's going to show my arc of growth, because I think it's way past time for me to kind of start at the beginning, like Heather's Full Catastrophe, and then through like, it's time for me to hermit and get help organizing things so that I can just go on my projects. Okay, thanks for being on the receiving end. I'm gonna silence this now because that's an indication to my YouTube editor, assistant, whatever, too. Once the live is done processing, which is usually like 24 hours, you'll go into editing, you know, and new cuts or whatever that says, and take out any silence. The only exception would be if it's like really cool, you know, potential silent B-roll or something. That's the only exception. So, but if it's good silent B-roll, you'll do something else. But if it's just silence, just cut it out, because I'm going to try to silence anytime it's unnecessary, so that we anyway, setting up a new one is annoying, and it's annoying anyway. So yeah, I also will, whenever possible, black out the screen, but the silence is the easiest way to quick edit. Okay. All right, so I think I'm gonna try, and when I have an idea that I want to pass on to my assistant Passy, I'm going to start trying to record it. The trick will be that I need to remember when there's a live video in particular that I want her to watch or listen to or transcribe, so that she picks up on this stuff. So that's my part. Okay, so just, you know, process wise, when you're going through a live video, or it doesn't matter if you're going through a video and it's you know, something like this, just real bland or whatever, then that just means whatever I'm doing, I don't want to be on camera. So there will also be times where it purposefully just looks like, I don't know, like I obviously have made no effort whatsoever, and the video just looks dumb. Like, you know, it's basically that. It just means replace it with B-roll, or don't, because the thing that I'm going for here is there are so many people who will not talk to me on camera, will not let themselves be recorded when we're having conversations, and I find the majority of the time it's because they do not want to be seen. They're willing to be heard, they don't want to be seen. There are also the folks who are afraid to be heard and don't want to be recorded at all, and that's their choice. That's their choice. But I find it to be a bummer, because oftentimes the folks who are like, "Don't record me, I'm afraid of that," whatever. You know, there's so many reasons they can be afraid or against it. What they're saying is, I want to be seen and heard, but only by somebody in person. I'm only willing to be seen or heard by somebody in person, and I do not want there to be the chance that someone could ever overhear any of my conversations. But what I find is, most of the time I'm having a conversation with somebody, it's pretty fucking cool and pretty smart. You know, my whole thing that I've been calling in for a long time was, I want to learn about interesting shit. I want to talk with other people about interesting shit. I only want to be around interesting people. I want to go interesting places. You know, I want to do interesting things. And so that was pretty powerful, because now, like, everyone around me is interesting. And so it makes me sad when I'm like, you know what we just took away from anybody who could have possibly heard this? That genius that we just shared. That's a bummer. So the alternative is that I either point the camera at something pretty, which can then be double, you know, used again as B-roll for something else. You know, you just remove the audio, or we leave it. You know, like I also don't want our channels to become like some sort of cult of personality. And I feel like if we're on camera too often, if we're on camera far more than we're off camera, then it becomes less about what we're saying and talking about and more about what we look like, or how we're, you know, how they can perceive us. I understand body language and all that kind of stuff. That's why and I do want to be seen. I just don't want to always have to be seen. And sometimes I have the energy to record, but not to be on camera. It feels different. Sometimes and then for the folks who are like, yeah, I'm cool with my voice being on there, and yeah, I know I say cool stuff, so yeah, let's have a cool conversation, and just don't put me on camera. So yeah, that's why the camera might be pointed towards just something else. And then I guess I'll just leave it in the editor's hands. If it's quick and easy to add a better video behind it before you publish it, awesome. If it's not, and it's whatever we're talking about, it's cool enough, then fuck, who cares if the and eventually, you know what? Eventually, like Tom Garden or I don't know, any of these amazing artists I know will give us B-roll to use, you know? I mean, that'll be fucking awesome. For now, I've got a bunch of nature, I've got a bunch of stills, I've got a bunch of dogs, I've got, you know, there's all kinds of fun B-roll. And I don't think, I don't want it to become a cult of personality. So an emphasis on, you know, maybe Scrappy Entrepreneur School, there's a bit more face time, because I know that really builds the know, like, and trust factor. But yeah, anyway, that's what it means if it's pointing somewhere else. Yeah, I think that's it for now. So the reason I came out here, a couple reasons. One, I do want to smoke some cannabis, and I do not know, I know that I cannot smoke on camera. I don't know what the other rules are. I don't want to run the risk of losing my channel because of, you know, dumbass shit. And so until such time that it seems really quite safe to have cannabis related content, we're gonna steer away from that, unless we start a whole new channel for that, which would be, I don't mind, that would be kind of cool, but that's down the road. It's not important enough to prioritize it right now. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna take my shirt off too. That's another reason I don't want to be on screen. Okay, so what I want to do a couple things. There's a game that I want to teach, and I'm gonna do my best to describe it. It might take me more than once, but yeah, there's a game I want to teach, and there's a I don't know what else was. So the game is essentially in service to teaching somebody kind of those personal assistant skills slash being of service skills, and while on the okay, on the one hand, I will say that yes, it's a very marketable skill to learn how to be somebody's personal assistant, but it's also what I think it's one of those many things that really shouldn't be commodified all the time. Like, it shouldn't be just a commodity to have that. You shouldn't have to be rich in order to have one-on-one help from somebody. And I think that's where we miss out on a really important opportunity to be of service to our community, is if we had at least a couple people that we really kind of learn what their signs are of they're in distress, or they need help, or they are feeling really good and could maybe, you know, do some fun stuff or whatever. We need to learn that about our people. And one of the best ways to learn it, I think, is to they allow themselves to receive acts of service. So what's the game? It's based on the Girl Scout game. I don't remember what it's called, but maybe it's called Peanut Butter Salad or something, which doesn't really relate. But the game is everybody's sitting at a table or whatever, and you're told, okay, name every single step between where you are right now and having a walking salad in front of you, and that would be an apple filled with peanut butter and maybe chocolate chips or something. Whatever, there's all kinds of versions of that, but it doesn't have to be a walking salad. It's just the example that I'm giving. So what was really interesting is the first time I played it was actually with all adults, because we were at a Girl Scout leader training and learning cool stuff like this. And what was quickly discovered is people do not either even think about some of the smaller steps, or they just can't really name them. So, you know, most people were like, oh, well, I don't know, I'd go in the kitchen, get some bread, find a knife, whatever, you know. So not bread, I mean apple. So usually they jumped right to that, and the person leading the game was like, no, before that, what do you got to do before that? Like, and it really took a while to get to, oh, first I stand up, then I move my chair back, then I start walking into the kitchen. You know, like, basically got to break it down to that. So first of all, that's just an exercise or game or whatever you can play anytime, even just with yourself, like making yourself slow down enough that you literally do notice every single step. You don't have to name it if you don't want, but okay, so the next step of this idea is, you know, I keep going on and on about how I wish I had help with a bunch of different things, but the likelihood of both me finding somebody who wants to help and me being in the space where I want to teach them live at the same time is rough, is unlikely. So what I'd rather do is I also don't want to have to explain shit as I'm doing it. Like, I don't want to do that. So I will sometimes record myself doing stuff like, okay, just now I got my lemon balm water, and so I would record that, only talk if I felt like it, and then a volunteer ideally, but to start with could be a paid content creator apprentice. Ideally, someone would watch that and write down every single step that's occurring. That way, a checklist could be made and a voiceover could be made of what's happening in the video. And I don't want to be the voiceover. I shouldn't have to. We can have AI or an assistant voice that. Yeah, so I'm sure that makes sense. So then what's coming out of that is not only specifically what I want, which is showing somebody how to take care of the things that I want or need, and I'll do it for the stuff that I do for Jeanette as well, making it easy for me in that I don't have to name everything, whatever. I can just pass it off, and whoever watches the video can jot down every single step, and then it's turned into a checklist that can be shared with whoever, you know, volunteers to help me. And it can become, a voiceover video opportunity, which is another paid, profitable potential skill. But then I think I was also saying that being of service should not be purely a commodified thing. It should be something where people at every level of age appropriate have opportunities to be of service. Even as children, as very small children, toddlers can be helpful. Very much so, they want to be, and that's when you start teaching them the very basic steps of how to do things that they're not familiar with. And at least at that age, most people are able to remember this is stuff the kid has to learn, and they'll learn by watching us, they'll learn by us showing them, they'll learn by us telling them. But it's asinine to get mad at somebody who hasn't learned something yet. Especially, if you haven't shown somebody how to do something, why would you assume they know how to do it? Okay. Okay, of service, that's right. If things were as they should be, we would have, it might look like all kinds of different circles, but the first example would be women's circles. And when kids are really small, when they're babies, they're there with their moms just because they shouldn't probably be separated from their moms anyway. And when they're babies, and then as they're toddlers, they start like toddling around, and all the women care for them and hold them and whatever. So they then are getting this vibe of, oh, the whole community loves me, not just my actual parent. Then as they they'll start paying attention to what everybody's doing, and at some point, a very small child will say, "Let me do it. I want to do it." Some version of that. And so we should let them. They'll make mistakes, they might spill, whatever, but again, it's age appropriate tasks that you give them, and you let them practice. And then by the time they're like preteen, they probably can do an awful lot to be of service. And then as a teen, then they get included even in the highest level, like the kind of stuff that you don't usually have the kids around for. So they get to basically kind of move into more of an apprentice role. So that's how community would do all of this. Is people like Jeanette and I would have assistance from people in our community, and they wouldn't necessarily make us go through all the time and effort to teach them. They would just watch us do it, learn from there, practice doing it, learn from there, experiential learning. And then, if you want to take that out into the world and do it for a stranger, and you want it to be a transactional exchange, then go for it. But within community, should be a service, a being of service in whatever way you are able to or interested in. So yeah, that's why I would record those and then leave it to others to do the rest, to get it to, a state where people could watch it. And it's not only a specific example of what I need, but it's an example of some options. Because I also think people need to figure out for themselves exactly what it is that they need, what would help them, so they can verbalize it. That was another thing that totally bummed me out, is I didn't know how to just learn what my daughter needed. I kept trying to make her tell me what she needed, and that's just, when you don't have the fucking words accessible, it sucks to have to try to verbalize them. So, and if you don't even know what you want, you gotta, I don't know. So it just sucks all around. So that's why people need to learn, and nobody should be alone all the time, or single mothers should always have help. Like, that's so asinine. Well, why didn't you ask for help? Well, there's a lot of stuff that's just everybody does, so you would know it needs to be done, and you could offer instead of making me ask. If you're too tired to ask for help, then you're too tired to. Anyway, it's a vicious cycle. That's why we need to be around each other and learn what each other needs before it's actually needed. Then maybe we'll ask for help before we're in fucking crisis. Oh, I guess that was me blowing into the bush, wasn't it? Okay, maybe I shouldn't even let that be on. I don't know. So I guess find out. How careful do I have to be? I like blowing into bushes because I think it partially filters it, gives me something fun to look at. Oh, there's a spider web up there. I wonder if I can get that on camera. And I just feel like, it's less likely that it's gonna go in somebody's face. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't feel like fussing with it. This is when I need to not spend time fucking with the camera. That's the other thing. If I had help, someone would be here to do the camera setup. And I need a better tripod. This is not the best. This is not the right tripod for me. Okay. Let's go back inside and get some work done. Let's go back inside and get some work done. It'll be fun to to make that playlist. It'll be fun to make that playlist, because then maybe some people will even watch it with me. Really bums me out. Doesn't seem like anyone wants to watch my videos. And by anyone, I mean my friends and family. They're the ones I most wish wanted to watch my videos. Seem to be the least likely to do it. It doesn't have to be all my videos. That's another thing that people can have sovereignty about. Like, oh, you make too much content. Well, choose what you want. Leave the rest. For fuck's sake, I'm not giving you a required assignment. Just asking if you're interested. You know, you watch other people's content. Why not mine? Say you want to talk to me more, you want to know more about me. Well, I sure talk about it a lot. I just maybe can't necessarily do it one-on-one with you. Why not let me be more efficient? Okay. Okay, time to go in. That's what we're gonna do. Oh no, Toe, don't do that. Okay, shit. I gotta go put that castor oil pack on right now. So what's happening now might have been avoided if I had help. My toe's gone out on me because I didn't do a castor oil pack earlier. Because I didn't feel like it. But if I had had help, I would have done it. So now thankfully I'm right where my crutches are. I'm being quiet because Jeanette might still be sleepy. So I'm going to, oh shit, it's already in flare, okay. Here I am, I'm gonna fucking see what I can do. Okay, let's, get my crutches. Oh yeah, we're gonna see Jeanette. Hi, good morning.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Pretty good.
You look pretty sunny.
And I just went to sleep last night.
That's awesome. Happy to hear that. Oh shit, these aren't set up. God damn. If I had help, these would already be ready to use. Yikes, too long. There's a banana there for you if you want it.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, my toe has gone into flare. Yeah, I knew it was on its way. I kept postponing putting my castor oil pack on. It literally was on my way there right now, but it went into flare while I was still outside. So I'm heading over there, but you know, as I like to do, recording the real life experience of it.
Heading over where?
Ow! Okay, I'm gonna keep that on, I guess. Will you do me a favor actually and bring the camera over? I'm gonna go get on the bed.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, the crutches are still the wrong height, damn it. Fuck a goddamn duck. Okay. Ooh, okay, you go put that down. You don't have to keep fucking that. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else I can do?
Well, actually, would you grab up? Okay, all my castor oil pack stuff is right there. Can you just get it closer to me so I can set myself up? Oh, let's move this. Yeah. Okay. Now will you please get the black one, hot pad from over there? And I'm just gonna have you plug it in, and then I'm good to go from there. There is a plug-in. Are you able to get to this strip? This is probably the best one if it works right now. It's right under here. Where all the cords are going. And you can pause and I can tell you're sniffing it. You don't have to just do it instant.
I just have to blow my nose and eventually I'll drip down my chin.
Oh yeah, no, go for it. You can always pause to take care of that sort of thing, silly. I know it sounds like right now, but it's not always right now. Okay. That's why this kit is handy, because now at this point, I don't really need help if there was somebody here to do that. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I just wanted you to know it was available. Yeah. So I figured out how to be able to do it myself, but it'd be better if there was help. Okay, castor oil. Okay, I am getting a little resistant because I know it's gonna hurt like a motherfucker. And I know I'm not gonna be able to move again for a while, so I gotta get my beverages all set. Okay, do this. Ah, shit, this is too hot. I can't. Let's see, can I get this out? Yeah, okay. Taking lemon balm out. I should have done more. I can smell it though. Okay. I think I'm just gonna stick with water for now. Just let that be simpler. Okay. I'm gonna turn this on so it starts warming up. Okay. Oh, okay. Now, next next important is to take some more of this. It takes at least half an hour to get on board. If I'd had help, somebody would have read this and seen that I'm supposed to be taking 3, and I've only been taking 2. So this says 3,000 milligrams. I guess I should look and see how much I was taking before. And if it's a lot less, then I need to know that. So that's something I haven't done. This is the first time I've used this one. It would make a lot of sense if I haven't been using enough. Okay, so something I'll have to figure out because I don't have a helper. The other purpose behind all these, like, I don't have a helper statement kind of things is I'm just giving examples of what kind of anybody could need, would benefit from. So no, I think I said that already. It is both specific to me and non-specific, just giving examples of options. Okay, so later I'll put castor oil on my stomach and liver, but I'm not gonna do that right now because my toe is in flare, so I have to prioritize that. Okay, I'm putting a towel down so I don't stain sheets. Hope she's okay because I can't help her right now. Get the cords out of the way a little bit. Oh, I need extra towel so that my foot doesn't get hot, over hot. Okay, might need this charger soonish. This is something I should not be doing at all, but I am because it's easier now than it will be later, and I don't have somebody to help me. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put it under the towel. All right, my toe's getting colder, so that's bad news. That's not a good thing. Okay. It hurts so bad when it's in flare like this that I'm gonna have to be really careful about touching it with anything at all. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay. First, an application of Evil Bone Water. My feet are dirty. Oh, that's right. I don't want to use one that I'm going to use at my throat for my foot. So I just need to get more so that I do like that size. Oh, I probably shouldn't have touched my skin with that. Oh shit, there's only so much I can do. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get a different pad. Okay, is this a designated foot? This is pretty. Well, I don't want to use that for designated foot. See, I wish I had some help with all of this kind of shit. Okay, this one will be foot. God damn you. Okay, let go. See how long this takes? It takes so long. Oh my god. Okay, so many steps. Every single one of these little actions is a fucking step. Okay, so I have to be careful. It's tricky because I kind of can't even tolerate any pressure whatsoever. But I need to put the castor oil on it. Okay. I'd like to learn how much I'm really supposed to use because I think there's all kinds of. I don't know. Jeanette says she uses a lot. Okay, so now I'm covering that. Just kind of wrapping it, wrapping it a little. It doesn't matter, a little bit. Now I'm going to use the towel to really hold it on there, but I may not be able to handle the weight of the towel because the hot pad gets hot enough that I don't want it on here. Okay, now I've got to situate this so that, so that it can make it warmer but not touch it. Okay, I also have to get further away from the edge of the bed. Okay, let's do that. Oh shit, okay. Oh, I know what I can do. I can cover. No. Okay. Okay, this is gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. But just don't do that. Okay. 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 It doesn't have to touch it. Get warm in there. It doesn't have to touch it. Get warm in there. It'll just get a bit. Okay. Okay. Now. I wish I would have put the heat under it too, but I don't want to move it again. It's too much to move it right now. Okay, so now I have to try to get comfortable. Okay. I do not have a sock for my other foot, so I need that. I'm just gonna cover it for now, so I don't have to move. It's almost impossible to move any part of my body. Even this is hurting my toe right now. It's almost impossible to move any part of my body and have it not be painful. Okay. I'm gonna take some deep breaths and transition. Okay. This kind of stuff would only be posted on Art of Processing. It's fine for it to go on full length. Eventually it'd be nice if things were kind of cut down into not real time, but sped up so that whatever. So yeah, real time is fine for first publish, and then good enough editing for second round of publish. Okay. Okay. Now, I have water, so I'm gonna drink some. See, when I take those deep breaths, I start to actually think of what is gonna be most helpful. It's like it arises though. It's not like it originates from here. Those breaths let it arise to the verbal part of my consciousness. So one of the things I want to put on that playlist is this video I made called Noticing or Fall Leaves. I'm not sure which. Because it really relates to, now I can give different variations of that. I can make different variations of that video. Okay. See, I need help with all the fucking chords and shit. Okay, so I think you're gonna go over here. So I can't remember if I said it. Yeah, I want there'll be somebody who's like, I wanna help with that. So that's why I want the videos made. I'm not trying to talk you Passy into doing it. I'm just I'm calling to the person who is meant to. Okay. Alrighty. So I am on art of processing. I'm gonna look for noticing. No, that's December 11th, 2024. That's not it. So it must be on Heather's Full Catastrophe. Let's go to that profile. Okay. And I'll put that up on the big screen so you can kind of follow along with what I'm doing. Oh, you know what I should be doing? It's one less step. If I was either recording straight in Descript or at least Zoom. So I guess I should probably stop. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop and then decide if I'm even gonna record anymore. So yeah, I highly recommend pausing regularly and checking in, seeing what you need now. Not adhering too tightly to plans you made earlier based on what you knew at the time. Or based on, I'm gonna push myself because I should. Don't should on yourself. Okay. Gonna work on that playlist now. Thanks for being on the receiving end. Bye.